There's been a lot of discussion about using pure reason to prove the existence of God. Aquinas was very, very optimistic about doing this. And I think it is helpful to look at those proofs for the existence of God. But it's also helpful that someone like Immanuel Kant or David Hume was able to critique that and say, well, that's not exactly standing on the ground. The ice is thinner beneath that argument than you think. And so there were critiques of these proofs and refutation of these proofs. And yet Kant turned around and said, but I can prove it to you, prove the existence of God on the basis of morality. The moral arguments. You need a God. You need an immortal soul. You need to have a final judgment, he said, for all of this to work, for any of the morality to work, something to hold you accountable. And so there are philosophers that have wrestled with those problems. But for me, although I really think those things are valuable, for me, it is the direct experience of compassion, of love that I don't deserve, or forgiveness, or encouragement when things seem the darkest. It says to me that the biblical word is Emmanuel, or Emmanuel. It means God is with us. And I believe that. And I believe that there's no part of my life that hasn't been in contact with God or being influenced by God. I've done a very imperfect job of listening. My tuning of the radio has not been all that accurate sometimes. But when I really pay attention, I see the presence of something bigger than God. I think it was Einstein that said, science without religion is lame, and religion without science is blind. Another person, a guy named John Polkinghorne, is very interested in the interface of science and theology. And he made a statement about music. I could also do it in the form of a painting. But in terms of music, if you analyze it only by natural categories, all you're going to hear is a set of vibrations. That's all it is. It's a set of vibrations. But who would dispute the transcendental quality of something like the Fifth Symphony or Mozart or even the simplest hymns? It goes beyond the physical to the metaphysical. And the same thing is true of a painting. It's not just pigment and oil and brushstrokes and canvas. It is a work of art, and that art transcends the canvas. That's the kind of thing that I rely on. I'm a guy who starts an experience and sees belief confirmed over and over again in my experience.